Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
And welcome back, welcome back.
We're going. Yep, we're here. I believe we can start. All right.
Hello.
Yes, it is Easter. And I can say, Happy Easter, everyone.
Yeah, happy Easter, everyone.
No. I'm not feeling the energy in this room. No. It's Easter special, right? And you can see that we have a different set.
I think that's what you are most excited about.
Yeah, I like the fact that we have a different set. Yeah, yes.
Welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. Yes. Debbie, I see you. Happy Easter.
Yeah. Hello, Debbie. Hello,
Good
Debbie.
evening.
Good evening, everyone that is here. We are good to go.
We have someone else saying hi, Kingsley.
Yes. We're good to go. But it's Easter. Mm-hmm. Tell me what's special about today.
What's special about today?
Today's set. Yes, today's program.
I will leave you to tell me.
How
and to tell everybody. Yeah, I'll answer the question.
Okay. Wait. I don't understand what you're trying to do. I don't understand what you're trying to do.
What am I trying to do?
I give you the question.
Tomorrow.
You're supposed
Hello,
to answer
good
it.
evening.
Instead, you don't answer it.
You guys, welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships.
Okay.
Yes. You know, on this channel, we bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and in your relationships. Today, we are really excited because this is our special Easter edition.
Yes.
And some of the reasons why it's really special, my husband will tell you about. But I mean, for us and for Christians out there, today is Easter, and today is about the resurrection of Jesus. And you know, we are excited about all that brings to us as individuals. We have life, we have liberty, we have access into the presence of God. I think that's the most exciting one for me because we don't need any middleman. I don't have to pay someone and say, hey, please help me tell God that this and that, you know, and the person can do anything, including tell you to bring money before they go. Yes, but I can go by myself. Hi, Atim, welcome. That's exciting.
I hope everyone can hear us. There's the sound. I hope the sound is good. Everything is good. Yeah. I like doing that stuff.
Which stuff?
To hope everyone is hope the sound is okay. So just type 111 if the sound is okay.
You and the 111. I'm sure you like that a lot. Anyway, so please guys, feel free to invite. In fact, don't feel free. We encourage you to invite your friends.
Invite your friends.
And family and people you know will need the kind of stuff we talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good when you see something good and you share it with people that are important to you.
So in that light, just click the share button, copy and paste and share to your groups and tell them we're live, we've started. It's the Easter special edition. And like we promised last week, there is a giveaway. A giveaway is in the package. It's in the package.
And that's part of the reason you are excited.
Me, I'm excited about. Yes, because the giveaway is a very exciting giveaway, and we want it to, we want to give it to someone that, someone that deserves it. But then the giveaway will come to the how the Bible says, those that endure till the end.
Oh,
do you understand?
You know the one I'm remembering. It's not in the Bible, Sha.
Where is it?
Good things come to those who wait.
They gotta wait.
Even though some people say those who wait don't get anything good, but on this particular show and this particular set,
good things will come to those who wait, and it will be our own Easter treat to you, right?
Yes. Say, hey, yes. And before we go any further, I'm sure some of you are wondering who is this extra person in the room with us?
Extra person in the room? But in case you are careful, maybe because we said we called it special edition, you probably didn't read the fine line. On the fine line there was a line we put called promising young man. And then we put question mark, promising young man. Do you understand? Promising young man. Yes. That's so this today, the conversation is about promising young man or potential young man. See, this is the part that got my attention. Jesus made a promise. 3 days I will rise. Abi? Abi?
Yes.
And he rose. How many young men, how many promising young men out there are actually keeping their promises? So
it's one thing to make a promise. It's another thing to keep the promise.
So in this particular, you're about to...
It's one thing to have an intention to keep a promise.
Okay.
It's another thing to actually be able to
keep the promise,
or to for it to materialize your promise.
For the promise to materialize is the issue.
Yes.
So today we are trying to find out, how can you tell that a promising young man will eventually become a promised young man? That the promise is eventually
that the promise will be fulfilled.
That the promise will be fulfilled. So, or
that it is not a perpetual promise that is never realized.
So that's why we decided to bring a promising young man on the set. And today with us to do this Easter special, we have with us KJ.
Yeah. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Welcome.
This is my first time.
Yes. KJ.
Really?
They say you are a promising
Have you
young
forgotten?
man.
You forgotten?
No, that time he was anchor.
No, that time I was
He was anchor. Now
No,
he's guest.
I'm a
Now
guest.
he's guest.
Okay.
And that's why he's
A promising guest.
He's a promising guest.
Yes.
He's a promising young guest.
We like the way you look anyway.
Yeah.
Thank
He looks
you.
like a promising young man.
Yes.
So, ladies in the house, when you see KJ, I mean, doesn't he look like a promising young man? So how do we know?
Don't be deceived by the look.
Oh my goodness. they shouldn't be deceived by the look. That's what KJ says. So looks. KJ, I know you said that in passing, but that can be our very first view.
That can be the first
cue.
cue.
Don't be deceived by
the looks.
Yes.
Okay.
Ladies,
okay.
Don't be deceived by the looks. So what were you looking at, and what did you see, and what did you assume when you saw what you saw? Tomorrow says he looks promising, Sha. It's not by the look, so it's a serious matter.
It's not by the look, so Babi, there was a precursor to this.
Yes.
To this. Please, can you tell us about why, and then before we bring in KJ's perspective.
All right. So we got wind of 2 incidents. One of them is that there's a certain lady who got married. And then she began to narrate her story by saying that the day she knew she was in trouble, right, or that she had made a mistake, was the day of the wedding. Because right after the wedding, she noticed that her husband, the husband she had just married, right, was running away from all the vendors. Was running away from the caterer, running away from all the vendors. He was just absent, right? Dodging them. They managed to escape from the venue, and they got to the hotel where they were to stay for honeymoon. And it turns out he had only made a down payment. He hadn't completed, the money he's supposed to pay. And in this particular hotel, it was required. And she had to, just to save face, pay the balance. And years into the marriage, this has continued to be the trend. He doesn't have a job. He's not earning money. She's sustaining the family financially. She's doing everything. and she's just spent, and she was looking for a way out, right? So that's scenario one. Okay. The second one was the guy that, yes, had promise. They got married, and then for about 3 years plus, it was difficult for him to bring anything. So his wife was the one providing, and she also was getting tired. She said, "Oh, she feels things like this should be like maybe seasonal. You're going through a rough patch temporarily,
but the patch
but
just has been
the
continuously
patch has
rough.
been extending, and 3 years plus, and she was just tired and also considering a way out
of the relationship,
of the marriage. Yes,
because
in her own case, she was so spent, it was affecting a lot of things.
So in this case, she was supposed to be the help, but now she's needing help. And it's not coming.
Yeah, so we're just looking what happens when this happens,
when
somebody who had promise. Or somebody when let's not even say somebody who had promise, because we're not really sure what she saw.
Okay.
But when a woman comes to say, my husband is not cutting it, my husband isn't able to pull any of the weight, he's depending completely on me, and I am overwhelmed, I can't handle this. When people start saying, oh, the promise never materialized, promise was not fulfilled, the potential is still only a potential.
So after many years, it's still potentiating.
Yes. We haven't seen any kinetic,
Okay,
manifestation.
but Bobby, that can be really tough. That can be really serious. So it's two ways. So one way is that for the guys, the question is, how does a promising young man ensure that he's able to fulfill that promise before bringing a promising young girl into a promise that doesn't get fulfilled?
Okay, so that's decisions on the part of the man,
that's
right?
That's one side. Another thing is, what is there another side to this story to say, is there something that the man showed to the young lady before they got in that made the young lady say, this one has promise? What are the signs? What are the symptoms? Or is there another side to this whole dimension? KG, you want to come in? You want to come in here?
How can we know? Let's ask him a direct question. Tell us how to know whether you are real or fake.
Whether you're real or fake. So the thing is, I feel that sometimes, just like I just saw what I think David said, that's how someone in Aso Rock promised us.
Yes, that's how Aso Rock person promised us.
The thing is, you also, as a lady, you also have to look at the promise they are promising you. Is the person exaggerating the promise? You understand? Like, someone promised us some years ago that they'll be feeding children in all schools or something. You understand? I'm just giving an instance.
Let's not call names.
Let's not call names.
Let's not call names.
We're not calling names. Okay, we're not calling names. I'm just giving an instance.
And
so someone comes and tells you, let me think. I'm going to get you a house of 10 million or something. I'm just giving an instance. And there's no plan to back up this promise. And you just take it hook, line, and sinker, and like, oh yes, he will get me a car in this thing. How? You don't know, but he has made a promise. And then you go into the wedding, and 2 years down the line, foundation you're not seeing, blocks.
You're not even seeing land.
You're not even seeing land. Do you understand? And then you're not blaming the guy. It's one thing for the guy to make a promise, or to be promising young man. It's another thing for you to see a plan that is backed up by this promise.
Interesting.
Brother, that thing you're bringing up now. I'm coming. There's a way that my mind is reading it. Are you saying that the ladies too?
The ladies have to be sharp.
You get within and they find. No, I'm just asking. Get within then they find. as in, or maybe there's a packaging that is. Should, should I ask?
Wait first. What I heard is that he said that there needs to be a plan. Okay, so that's very important. It's not just somebody is promising you something or saying something, and sometimes the promise isn't even spoken.
Yeah,
you know, the promise is implied. There's a way. Okay, so we need to all look at this. Akiji, thank you so much for that point. The fact that there needs to be a plan. It's simple. Someone says, I'm going to do this. How are you going to do it? Or somebody gives the impression they are capable of doing something. Just give me an idea. I mean, what comes to mind right now is when you want to travel and you go to the embassy and you have your passport and you say, I want to travel. And they say, oh, really? And you say, yes. What do you want to go for vacation? And they're like, oh, fantastic. Where do you want to go? You tell them the place and, oh, really cool. Show me that you are actually capable of taking care of yourself when you travel. Show me that you can buy your ticket. Show me you will not become a liability. Show me you won't end up on the streets, and then you have to start bringing documentation. I work here. I earn this much. See how much money has been coming into my account. From the evidence here, you can see that I can afford a hotel, feeding. If I have an accident, I can take care of medicals and so on. So they're just indices, right? And you see, the people don't ask you, show me your bank account statement of right now.
Ladies don't ask. And then sometimes. Okay, sorry. No,
but there's something you wanted to say.
He said, ladies don't ask. Oh yeah, what are ladies supposed to ask?
Now. I know that. So there's questions that might seem too direct. That it looks like you are infringing on the person's privacy. You understand? But there are ways you, as a ladies, have this ability. I just sometimes. Sorry.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Ladies have this ability, but they just push it aside. They are carried away by what they see. Someone just said there now that ladies like promises. They like you. So once a guy tells you, "Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do this," bam, you've taken it. How? You're not ready to know. That's not your business. But then within you have the ability to, even if you're not going to ask him directly, to say, "Oga, what's the plan? How are you going to take us from this point to that point?" There are ways you can actually position yourself, strategize as well, and just look at his moves.
Okay, so KG, you are going to tell us those ways, but there's something Jimoski said there. I don't want it because there are a lot of comments coming in, so we don't lose it. Something Jimoski said here. He said, if you put engagement ring on her finger since 4 years ago and nothing has been done,
you're not a promising
young man. You're not a promising young man. So how
you've
can we know?
You've already started failing.
Yeah. So how can
4
we know?
years is a very long time for someone to be wearing engagement ring. But yes, KJ, you mentioned you mentioned the fact that somebody has said something. You have to be able to ask directly. And engage the person to at least know, to be like the embassy that gets the assurance that this person can actually do what they said. That's great. And something that I was talking about with the embassy is they don't ask you for a snapshot of your capacity, you understand, or of your your ability. They ask you for track record.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
So it's like an interview. So every promising young man must have been making some promises and been fulfilling them in the past.
Exactly. They need to demonstrate
for yourself.
You need to see their track record. You can't just hear, I'm going to, and then you just agree. Or maybe the way they look right now, you just look at them and he looks sharp. The way he presents himself, he looks cool. He's looking like KJ. He drove one fantastic car when you met him the first time, and you just look at that snapshot and say, yes, this must be a promising young man. No, you need to see track record. They need to have been demonstrating in different ways that they are capable. Exactly. Do you understand that they can actually do what in quotes they are inferring or impressing?
So sorry to cut it, but that's what should define a promising young man. Your track record.
What's that?
Your word, sir.
Track record should define
A
a
promising,
promising young man, not
Mhm.
snapshot.
not snapshot.
Because
No,
you know the thing is, see, this embassy thing. It's interesting that this analogy came to my mind,
Mhm.
but it seems to be working very well. Because embassy, okay, they if they ask you for snapshot, you know what will happen?
Some
Somebody
people
will
just
go. You
and
know
collect
now,
money
my brother,
and
I want to go to the embassy.
interview on Tuesday.
Please.
By Friday, just load my account.
Send
You will get your money back after Tuesday afternoon. That's
Exactly.
all.
You know now.
Mhm.
And then you now say, oh, fantastic, you have this much money, great. But it's a lie.
Mhm.
But when they ask for track record, they can see how you were 6 months ago. So even if you want to keep up the lie, you must be able to keep
Must
it
be
up
doing-
for some time.
Mhm.
You understand? And the chances of you lying for that long, for that duration, right? It's lower than when you ask someone for a snapshot. So you actually need to be able to check. Someone say, okay, doesn't mean the person should have been rich already before we get married. We're not talking about having ostentatious wealth or just like but we're talking about the capacity you're checking. You define the capacity, right? But at the minimum, the capacity you're checking is this person can take care of himself.
Mhm.
I am not going to pick up the load of taking care of this person. I am not coming to become your mother or your father or your caregiver in quotes. Do you understand? Where I am responsible for your upkeep. No. This person should be able to take care of himself. This person should be able to take care of plus one. Right? Plus one being something can happen to you and you need help.
Yeah,
The person should be able at least to pick up your load for a period. If a child is born into that union, that's another person to consider. And just the basics of well-being, right? So, and both parties should be checking, both the man and the
exactly.
woman.
That's where I was trying to go.
Yes.
That
Both the man and the woman.
I know we called it promising
Young man.
but it's really talking about the
Promising
prospects.
young individuals.
Yes, the prospect with young people, right? Because this thing, we see the effect years down into marriage, right? Sometimes we all know what's going on around and what's trending and with what's happening with marriage and a lot of things that are going wrong that people talk about marriage. But we know that there are marriages that are working. Many.
A lot.
So
Yes.
maybe they don't
Jimoski
just
wants to call.
maybe they don't just want to, maybe they don't just they're just not popular there. Please can we send Jimoski a link? Can we send Jimoski a link? Yeah, we can do that. So please let's send Jimoski a link. Thank you.
Happy Easter, Gideon.
Gideon had a prayer for us. He said, Happy Easter to my family. God Almighty shall continue to bless the works of your hands in Jesus' mighty name. And we say amen. Amen. Thanks, Jimoski. So you understand. So we're saying it's not just for young men. It's just that's the title, but it's for the potentials that young guys, young ladies carry.
Yes, it's for
and
anybody.
even for married people, because there are people that are in marriage now that they follow the promise of a young man, and that's like that case study that you spoke about, that it's as if this promise is not coming. And the woman is getting tired. Why? Because it's not the job of the woman to carry the load. Her job is to help. So the case is that the man is carrying this particular load. So in every marriage, in every family, the man actually is carrying the load. The woman's job is to say, okay, let me put hand here. Maybe it's too heavy. Let me put hand here. It's too heavy. Do you understand? That's the woman's job. That's why you say she's supposed to help. But when the woman, the load goes from the man's head and rests on the woman,
can be quite a challenge.
That's the problem right there. Because after a while, she's not designed to carry the load. She's designed to help. Do you understand? So for us men, what I also want to see is, how do we help young men move from potential into kinetic, from potential into actual.
We have entered physics.
So that we wake up the potentials that are in young men, so that they become kinetic energies.
So
do you understand?
I want one important thing would be to tell them, hey, develop a track record. Okay. And I want people out there to just think when we're talking about this whole thing of financial might. Please don't be limited to a job.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
Don't be limited. Yeah, don't be limited to a job, because some people just think if I have a job, then I'll be able to get married. I'll be able to do this and that.
It's not even about focusing on just a job. Some people are just monocausal in their focus, like just this. Okay, they're not willing to look at this or that. For a man, you should be able to be to have different streams. For lack of a better word, have different streams. Because there's this movie about that Tyler Perry did. I can't remember the name anymore. The guy was just focused on his electric.
Oh, that movie. That the lady was waiting. So even though eventually he became, but at that time
it was too late.
Time
don't pass. No, I still blame woman. But then that's my point. That's another discussion.
That debate will happen on another.
But my point is, guys should not just be monocausal. They should just focus on one. If it's not this one, it's nothing else.
Yeah. So the same way, you're right. Because some people will say it's a job. If I don't get a job, that means I can't get money, and they just shut down when they lose a job. Some others will say, "Oh, is this particular type of business?" And even though they keep losing money in the business, keep getting duped in the business, keep getting old in the business, they will continue to try to make that business work. Meanwhile, you could try another kind of business, right? To see if this one will work. I mean, multiple streams is really important. It's something that people need to be open to explore different sources of income, right? So, yes. So Atim says he mentioned plan. I think if the plan is not visible while you're dating, you should see the red flag, then address it. If there's no change, you take a bow. Simple. Atim, you are spot on. You have to be able to see it. You have to be able to see, and like KJ, you were saying, some people don't want to ask direct questions. But in a relationship, I feel as long as someone has said we are getting married, whether it is the man that said, "Will you marry me?" or it is the lady that said, "I will marry you, I accept your proposal." Once you guys have gotten to that point where you're working towards this lifelong, very serious, very, 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 you can hear my emphasis on very serious assignment, right? Or commitment. In fact, business engagement. Okay. Once you are in that level, you have to be able to ask the difficult questions, the serious questions. There's nothing like privacy when it comes to questions that will affect your future. You have every right to ask at that point. At that point, no.
That's the excuse.
That's the excuse. Bobby, sorry, I think Jimuski is in the room. He's backstage. Are we clear with Jimuski's audio? Jimuski, hear us.
Hello? Yeah, good evening. I can hear you guys. Good evening.
Yay!
Jimuski, my man.
Welcome to the show today. Happy Easter.
Same to you, sir. Happy Easter to the Bature family.
Thank you.
Happy Easter to the gentleman in white. You looking at me?
Oh, his name is KJ.
How's the family?
Okay, and let me just go straight to the point.
Okay.
Good to be here. Maybe the next time, maybe I'll be on the show live by God's grace. But let me just go straight to the point.
That'll be great. Yeah.
All right, and actually, ladies love promise. Let me say that they love to hear promise. And if you don't promise, then you are not ready to start any journey with them. Let's be fair with that. You have to promise a lady before she will say yes to you. You have to promise her before she can even keep the pregnancy for you. You have to promise her before she will marry you. You have to promise her before she can even decide to give herself to you. So that's natural for ladies. And even in the world we are living in today, you just have to promise your boss that you can do the job. You have to promise the client that yes, if you get this contract, you can do it. But the question is that are we going to keep to that promises? It's one of the challenges we have. We make a lot of promises and we don't keep to it. And sometimes when you are in a relationship with a lady, she want you to keep to all those promises. She don't understand that that promise is what you can use to get her to love you. It's not that most time we don't mean it when we promise a lady. Let's be fair with ourselves. I don't know. I'm trying to expose the guys, but let me just be honest here.
Be
Most time we
honest.
don't.
Be honest. Be real. Be real. Be real.
Most time we don't mean it when we promise a lady. We can tell a lady we love you, but she no did that hard. Let's be honest with you. But we just want to say that so that we know that that's the only way we can get her attention. But as a promising guy, the only way you can show to a lady or a lady, the only way a guy can show to you that whatever he said he meant it is when he starts showing you proof. When he starts
Proof.
walking, yeah,
Evidence.
when you start walking in that line of the promises he made. If he promises that, yeah, baby, I'm going to leave this house to a duplex, you can see that indeed he's working and he's having certain saving that you can see to it. If you say, baby, I'm going to marry you, you will see that that relationship is direct in that marriage. So when you see that those things that he promised you is not working in line with that, as a sharp girl, you should know that this one is not taking me this way, he's taking me this way. But honestly speaking, as we are meant to promise the lady because we know if we don't promise them, they are not ready to say yeah. If you don't promise that, she will not collect that ring from your hand. Or if you don't promise her that belle, she will not keep it. So it's normal for us to say we will promise you, but it's not left with her to be very, very vigilant to observe if indeed we are
Vigilante.
sticking to that promise. Yeah. So thank you very much for that. That's what I have to
Thank
contribute.
you.
Thank you, Jimoski.
Thank you,
Fantastic.
Jimuski. Thank you. Very, very true.
So,
Very, very true.
What do
Thank
you
you.
feel like you
Did-
have just been exposed?
no, I'm even feeling like what I'm about to say might even expose even further. But
Okay.
guys, I'm very sorry on behalf of the guys. It's not that I'm exposing, but I just feel the ladies should wisen up. The ladies should
be sharp,
be
according
sharp.
to Jimoski.
Because I hear ladies say
Vigilante. They have to be hashtag vigilante.
I
Right
hear
in there.
ladies of this
Hashtag
our generation say,
ladies vigilante.
ladies among themselves, you'll be telling themselves that if the guy not talking anything about marriage, leave him alone. If you don't even mention marriage or I'm going to marry you, leave I know you know serious with you. But then they forget that it is one thing for a guy to tell you to even bring it up. Since that's what you want to hear now, but let him just mention marriage or just in one of the conversations, just put marriage in it. It's one thing for the guy to say it and just go and find one place and relax. So, but I don't talk to him marry. And he rests. It's another thing for the guy to move forward with it, you know. And ladies,
Take steps.
Ladies, once
Show
they just,
proof.
Exactly. Ladies, once they just hear the guy just make mention of that marriage, they just want to hear him say that, as he said, you not talk about marriage. Yes,
Yes, okay, let's go.
let's go. Don't worry, he's going to marry you.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. If I want to look at my own life, right? There are people that we have that I have had contact with, people that I have been friends with, you know, and some of them just throw in the marriage stuff, and it's as if sometimes I don't know if this is the expectation, right? But I refuse to allow the fact that someone has mentioned marriage or started talking about marriage make me think that we are going to get married. I'm still weighing you. I'm still checking things. I'm still
This
screening.
is you.
This is you.
This is me. I'm still screening. And ladies, really, I think you should do that. Even the promise of or the statement about marriage, you need to test it. So you somebody says, oh, one day we should get married, oh, we should start this, we should do that, and the person is just loading the conversations here and there with marriage, and you ask a simple question like, so are you in love? And the guy is confused. They doesn't know how to explain it. So how do you look at that? So this person cannot say, and then you are asking, you have to explain what love is, which is a basic requirement, right? For going into a marriage, and the person is not even able to explain it. And by the time you explain it, the person is saying, oh, that means there are 2, 3, 4, 5 people that I feel that way about. Of course, you know, that's the end of that relationship. You know, that's the end, because you can see that this person is not even, he doesn't even understand what he's talking about. Talk less of being able to keep any commitment in that direction. My husband here, before we got married, at our low financial level, I did the test. So I knew what he was earning. I knew his salary complete. And he knew mine, right? And we actually projected for about 4 years how we would live for about 4 years. I think it was 2 or 4 years that we did the projection. We added what his salary was, what mine was, put it together, what kind of accommodation could we afford at that level? Around when will we be able to buy a car so we don't keep like trekking or climbing bike or doing the whole taxi runs and stuff? We projected around this time we should be able to buy a car. We even knew based on our income at that time that there was no brand new car in the view, as in it was not there. It was going to be a fairly used vehicle of about a certain amount, that we knew, okay, and we would be able to do that in the second year of our marriage based on the projections at that time. We went into the details. Do you understand? We knew, okay, this is the kind of place you can live. We actually found a place in a certain city that we knew we can do this. And this was going to be our standard of living. There was nothing like holidays or vacation in view. There was nothing like even traveling out for honeymoon.
It
wasn't on the radar at all.
Honey.
Do you understand? But
we're even looking for the honey, sir.
Let alone the moon.
But we knew this is going to be our life. We were okay with that level. So it was that there was a promise made, right? And it was tested, and we were happy with what we arrived at.
So this is talking from when we were in. So before we got married, how did you test the promise that I made?
Yes, please, you need to say it.
Yeah, so
that...
let's talk about it now. So first of all, when we were in school, some people sold pure water, and I was there. I saw them.
Some people sold pure water.
In fact, they even did level up, that kind luxury pure water. They'll buy ice, put inside the cooler, and they strategically sold it after fellowship when they know that people will be thirsty and there's a long walk between the chapel and the different hostels. So I saw that one. Some people did Alaba Boys. Back then, of course, that time there was no copyright law. If there was, we didn't even know there was anything like that, piracy or whatever. So he will carry different nice songs that were, around. Most of them were Oyibo songs, and put them on CDs. Then, I think like 10 compilation, and sell to people 300 naira per CD.
Promising.
Yes,
promising.
And by the time we left school. At least those are the two I knew of. No. There was one more in school. Typing people's projects. So whenever the end of a semester or whatever was coming, final year students, when they were doing projects, he was typing a couple of them and getting paid for those, even though he typed mine for free. As per friend.
As per friend or as
per promise.
As per promise.
Do you understand? And by the time we left school, some people were doing cyber cafe. No, not cyber cafe. Game center. And there was a time you were doing videos too.
I did game center, barbing salon, and video
rental.
Video rental.
Young man.
There was track record. So I knew that even if this guy doesn't have a job,
he will find a way.
We will hustle the hustle. Me, what was I doing? I was making cakes. I sold Biro one time. I sold Biro. I saw the
what do we call this?
The money,
young
lady. The money wasn't adding up. It was barely enough to feed me. Couldn't buy handouts. So we had to change strategy. We went from there to making cakes. And that was the one that was really, bringing in money. I could take care of myself, take care of some other people, and didn't need to depend on my mom anymore, So there was promise. And we could see track record. So I mean, even if he doesn't get a job, I don't get a job, we will survive. So you need to check for the track record. Check, please. What is this person doing? The fact that someone graduated with a first class or 2-1 is no guarantee that they will be able to fulfill the promise.
Very true.
Because what if they come out and in our country, they are not able to get a job? As intelligent and as fantastic as they are, academically speaking,
so
will they be able to convert
academic skills
to
into
real life?
skills?
Exactly. Will they be able to? Some people just get stuck. Like, I have a 2-1, I have a first class. They are waiting for that job in the oil company. They're waiting for that job in the tech industry. Yes, they're waiting for that job that they'll just hammer, and they don't get it. They just keep focusing on that because that's where their whole mind is. They keep going from interview to interview, application to application, hoping that it will happen. If it doesn't happen, you give up. And you'll be saying, and he's a first class material, and he's a it doesn't convert to put on the table.
I think these things we're saying are very key. So we've tried to address it from the single young man, and sometimes it feels good when they use you for example. Good example.
Who will use me? Who will use me?
Somebody said, my brother, nobody is useless. So even if
you are not useful,
if you are not useful, nobody is useless. They can still use you for a bad example. So nobody, but when they use you for good example like this, sometimes it's okay to laugh. It's okay to be happy. Somebody said, kudos, Mr. Kingsley, 100%. Thank you. But I wasn't easy. Selling that pure water in the presence of your friends when they look you somehow.
Exactly.
But those are some of the things that affect the young.
But that's why you were able to sell sand.
Yeah.
Oh
my goodness!
Track record. Somebody said track record.
Track record.
Because in your case, once upon a time, you lost your job in the bank.
In the bank, yeah.
And for a season, you had to sell sand.
To make the ends meet.
Someone would have said, "Oh my goodness, how could you?" I mean,
how could you?
And at that time, you had master's degree too.
Not from Nigerian University, from University of Liverpool.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
But he couldn't get a job.
I couldn't.
After losing that first one. So he went in to do business, and selling sand was an option. It was a good place to start. Some people would say, no, how can I do that? You even need to be able to test. What is this person's level of commitment to meeting the promise? Do you understand?
That's key.
When you see that someone can sell pure water, you know that they will not say out of shame, I'm not going to do that job. Meanwhile, there's no food in the house.
Yes.
They will go out of their way to do whatever is legal and right to earn money and to provide for the family.
So
so Jimoski, he discovered another hustle.
I want to help. I don't know if you can help someone. So there's a lady who finds it difficult to ask the direct questions. So her reason being that she feels, what if she's too pushy? What if she's what's that word? I think too demanding or too thirsty. As per the marriage thing, she's scared. Like, what if he now feels like I'm mounting too much pressure on him? You understand? Let me take it easy with him. So she's not willing to ask the direct question like that. So she's very scared. So how do you help someone?
I will help the person by telling them, as long as that guy has asked you to marry him, he has given you permission to ask every single question that will affect your life together. Every question that will affect your life together. So please, you have when sorry, I keep using myself sometimes. When we were friends, I wasn't asking certain questions. So there are levels. So when we were friends, we were talking about friendship, talking about the weather, we're talking about school, we're talking about family, church, all those surface, And then one day the young man said, "Will you go out with me?" The very moment he asked the question, I had to ask, who is this person? Who is that one? Who is that? Explain these 5 women first. These 5 ladies.
You can see the
these 5 girls. Explain. Because now before I could just notice that there are these 5 ladies around, right? Are his friends, right? I can't ask more. I can't even check. Are you going out with this one? Are you planning to? Then I couldn't ask. But the moment he asked me out, right then, I asked, who is this? Who is that? Who is that? He explained though. He explained there. Before I said yes to going out with him. Now, by the time
sorry, but
Caris is in the building.
Yes, Caris is in the building.
Okay, let me wrap up this thought. Okay. By the time he asked me to marry him, I had to know, how much are you earning? Where are we going to live?
Serious
question. Do you plan to have children? If yes, how many? The deep questions came out. Every single thing, your history, where you, as in all those details of family background, were you abused as a child? All sorts of things came up. Deep things, solid
So
things.
these things you're talking about are the things that may stop a young man from fulfilling a promise that he's carrying.
Yes, and apart from the whole promise thing, can have other consequences that somebody says, "Oh, I'm not able to satisfy you sexually. I have no urge. I have no drive. I'm not interested in sex," and you're wondering what's going on here. It may just be that there's something that happened in history that is playing out.
But
But if you don't know,
baby, you know all this Weibo film we always watch now. When the person said, "Oh, I have a past," to say, "No, don't worry about your past.
the
love
past,
covers.
Your love covers."
there are some past that can affect me. The part of the past that can affect the current, the present. You need to know.
Bam.
So
no.
you have permission when the person says, "Will you marry me?" Caris is in the building.
Caris, can you hear us?
Yes, good
Hello.
evening.
Good
Hi,
evening,
Caris.
Good
Caris. How are you
evening.
Good
doing?
evening, Caris.
I'm fine, thank you. Promising young
Welcome
man.
to the show.
Thank you, sir. Okay,
Okay,
a
good.
promising
So,
young man.
hmm.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can.
Go
Yes, we
ahead,
can. Yes,
please.
we can. Go ahead.
Okay, it's a very fantastic topic. A promising young man. Okay, this is for my ladies. A promising young man should be progressive. Where were you last year? Where were you a year ago? Where are you planning to be in 2 years, in 3 years? What are the
Where are you
steps
now?
you're taking? Let's see the effort first. Let's see what you're putting in place to fulfill those promises. Is it school? Is it in every ramification? I would actually use my experience as an example, not just even the financing. Like there was this person I was actually dating like way back, and he mentioned marriage, of which I liked him and I didn't mind. But he confessed to me that he had a liver problem. Why? Because he was always drinking. He got like drink hot drinks, like it was so bad. And then he told me, the doctor told him he wasn't going to live long. Hope I can live with that. I said, like live with what? So I started googling and trying to make him to stop drinking and to give him natural fruit, just because I actually wanted it to work. But I saw that he wasn't making any effort. He had already given up. Like he had already given up. Oh, I was going to die. Let me just drink this drink and just die. So I had to just wake up and I left.
Wake up.
Yeah, I had to move on. So if someone is making you promises, you should see the effort. It's not just even in marriage. When you're dating, you should be able to know these things, like get to understand what steps is he taking. Is he fulfilling at least the number one on the list? Has he fulfilled it? Is he taking steps towards it? And then if he's not, you should use your common sense.
That's why
Common
you're on the
sense for
show.
relationship. My God.
Yes, you should use your common sense. So that's what I think it is. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Caris.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you
much.
so
Thank you
much,
so much,
Caris.
Caris. In
Thank
fact,
you so much.
today I heard something in church. Yes, it was Pity that said it. And when I heard, I was like, okay, this is the higher level. Anointed common sense.
Yeah. I think this one is for Christians. They need to use
Anointed
because your anointing
common
must have sense.
Uh-huh.
Because you can't just be anointed without.
When you factor in, infuse the common sense with anointing. So that is like spirit-led common sense. That is common sense that you have built in the wisdom that you find in the word of God, you know, and it informs your decisions and so on. Honestly,
so
thank you, Caris. That was really good. So she said she woke up. She had to wake up. Wake up. I think that's the hashtag.
That's the
wake
hashtag.
up.
Hashtag wake up.
Up.
Hashtag wake up. There's some just still in the spirit of the season. Jesus woke up on the third day.
Yes.
Woke up from the sleeping. there are ladies that need to wake up from certain relationships, right? There are guys that need to wake up from certain relationships because it's not going anywhere, right? So you need to wake up.
It's not going anywhere, and
It's
if
not-
you get into it, it will
still-
interrupt your own journey that you were going somewhere.
So if you are going somewhere and you are stuck in a relationship that is not going anywhere, you are eventually not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Or it will take you a very long time to get there.
Yes. So again, sorry, I want to also stay on this other side of the table, because I think we've done justice to attacking the guys, not attacking though, but
addressing the guys.
We've done justice to that. Let me stay on this other side of the table now.
Okay.
Now the ladies. So how do we guys know a promising young? I know they are helpers, and within the parameter of their helping, there are things they're expected to do, right? Exactly. So how do we know which lady is a promising young lady? Okay. Do they also need to have track records?
Definitely.
Do they? I don't know.
See, these things that we just said about the guys, carry it and paste it.
For the ladies,
copy and paste and do your own screening, guys. Check. What is your definition of fulfillment? What's your definition of what you require for your marriage? Because what the women are checking is this guy able to do all of these things that I expect by the time we get married? So, you guys to check.
Okay, so I wanted to do a quick snapshot of all that we have talked about.
Yeah.
Right? And a quick snapshot of all that we've talked about. We started by saying every man has potential, right?
Yeah.
We said every man has potential, right? And then we say, don't be deceived by the looks, because there's the packaging. People will package, they'll package,
they'll package yourself away.
They'll package yourself away. You understand? And so even when you see the looks, we said something again. We said there needs to be a plan.
Yeah.
There needs to be a plan. There needs to be a plan. And KJ came in and told us that, every promising young man, okay, it was my wife that said it, right? Every promising young man must have a track record. Must have a track record. So I hope guys are taking notes, because this is a learning moment. It says, and then she said again, we spoke about that even if the guy is a promising young man, there must be a commitment to meeting the promise.
Yeah.
There must be a commitment to meeting the promise. And then Caris came and dropped the bombshell. A promising young man should be progressive. Where were you last year? And where are you now? After saying that, Jimuski now came and told us, he says, to be progressive in Nigeria, especially Buhari government, is not child's play.
So there's the government factor.
So there's the environmental factors that can stop a man from being...
Yes, but I will encourage everyone, okay, that no matter the storms, no matter the terrible and harsh conditions, there is hope and there is a way. Someone says, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm always challenged by the fact that in this same country where we say we don't have this, there's no money, there's no this, just look at the buildings that are going up. In fact, look at the kind of before we even talk about buildings, look at the kind of parties some people have. You will know that somehow people are making money in this same country. So find a way, and push to be amongst those who are making it in spite of the adverse conditions in our country.
Money no day, just no day your hand. Find where you did.
And find what value you provide to be able to get some of it.
To make an exchange.
Yes, exactly. So we have 3 minutes. Oh, actually 2 minutes to go. This giveaway you were talking about. Okay. I think it's about time.
It's about time.
We spent 1 hour like this one.
My dear,
like play. Okay, so who is going to win our giveaway?
Can I be part of this?
Why are you like this?
No, I can't.
You are a guest on the show.
So if that's the only reason I should be part of it.
That's more.
You see how I was looking at him like in shock.
Okay, so we are giving away something special to someone that is loyal. But the problem is I have a question to ask for the person that's going to win this giveaway. But the problem is not even just my wife. Jimoski says 1 hour is too small. The problem is, Usually when I ask questions, they say my questions are usually too.
No, you can't ask question. In fact, me, I want you to announce the winner now. Yes.
I should just announce somebody.
Yes, just say it.
How am I supposed? As in by the spirit. I just mini, money more. Father has a donkey. How
Father.
Donkey that is Father Christ. Mini.
Oh yeah, now say it.
How am I going to say it? I should just pick one person at random.
Perspective.
A prospective.
Yes.
How am I going to pick it now?
Well, I'm going to step in here. There's one person I have in mind, and the person is a recurrent table shaker. And even the other people that are here on the call will know who this person is. Recurrent table shaker. Yes, he has a lot of value each time he comes on the show with his comments, with his questions, with his facts. Yes, and today you also saw him in the building. Please, that's the person I have in mind, and you know the person.
Okay, me, I have another person in mind.
Okay, tell me.
The person that I have in mind is also a recurrent person, right? But she is a she.
I'm listening.
Yes, and in today's engagement, she was fully engaged in the process of the engagement.
So we have two people.
So you have a promising young man. I have a promising young lady.
Okay, all right. So someone has already mentioned my promising young man. You can see Jimoski.
Okay,
oh yeah, tell us who is your promising young lady.
My promising young lady is Atim Mo.
Oh really? Interesting.
Wow.
So because today she was engaged, I was just looking at who is engaging with the conversation today.
So that means today we have rewarded two kinds of people. Number one, somebody that has track record. Yes, another person that has current
that is prospective.
Yes. Okay, so those are the two winners, right?
Those are the two people that I have in mind.
Atim, Uno, and Jimoski, you are the winners of our giveaway on this Easter edition. So what's the giveaway?
Okay, so on this particular Easter edition, there's one giveaway I want to give.
Please, let's not
say it quickly now.
No, wait first. They said there's going to be partial in this thing, because I have a giveaway that I want to give to a lady, and there's one you want to give to a guy.
Just say it. I'm hearing.
Our grand prize giveaway. Drum roll.
What is it?
It is a gift voucher for the Derma Space Aesthetic and Wellness Center. It's a spa treatment to have deep tissue massage, deep cleansing facial, and invigorating bronze package for the winner.
Okay, so if this winner, and this is Lagos, right?
Yes.
If this winner is in Lagos, they can take advantage of this. But if this winner is not in Lagos,
Atim, please tell me you're in Lagos.
She's not in Lagos.
She's not in Lagos.
Yes.
No.
And if this winner is not in Lagos, they will get the the cash equivalent.
Okay, maybe we'll give her the cash equivalent.
Yes, the cash equivalent is what Atim is going to get. Atim, I believe you're not in Lagos. I think we've touched base before, and you're not in Lagos, so you'll get the cash equivalent. Don't worry, Atim, you get the cash equivalent, so you can get something similar for yourself in Uyo, or something better. It's your choice.
Okay.
Yes.
So that means our grand winner goes to Jimoski.tableshaker.
Yes.
So when you meet me, you'll meet us to collect your giveaway package, your giveaway voucher, and you'll use it to refresh yourself.
Or maybe he will decide to give it to the promising young
man. In his life.
Fulfill one promise about giving her spa treatment.
Are you there? Can you give us a thumbs up? Can you give us a hi too? It's going your way. Or has Jimoski dropped off?
Maybe he has, but he will see it later.
So that's going to him. I think we should do this a bit more often.
Yes.
I like giving things away, and that's why she's the chief financial officer. If not, I would have given everything. By next time you call yourself, you are sitting down on top car.
So guys, it's been fun on this edition, this Easter edition, and KJ, thank you so much, Mr. Promising Young Man Kingsley Asukwo, for being our guest on the show today.
Yes.
And thank you, my darling husband. And I thank myself.
Oh, Dimoski is there. Dimoski said,
yes.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Thank you, Dimoski. Thank you. So please share the link, share to your friends, share to your enemies.
Thanks
like
to
I like
everyone.
to say, because if you teach your enemies wisdom, you people become friends, and you have one less thing to worry about. So share to your friends, share to your enemies. Let them watch, and let them see these conversations that we're having. I think there's another conversation that we need to have around this corridor, which is to ask promising young man versus ready-made young man.
That is a serious one. Coming soon to theaters near
you.
All right, guys. See you next time. Remember, common sense is
not so common.
Bye. Happy Easter, Asim.
Happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter.
Man.